Now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everyone, it's Brian Kaz here. We'll get going in just a few seconds here. Looks like I have to change myself over to the presenter. Let me just edit this real quick. All right. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. There, now that's all up and live, we can get the show on the road here. So once again, my name is Brian Kaz. I'm joined by my friend and business partner, Sean Casey, for another Wednesday marketing webinar. And on this week, we'll be analyzing your websites and businesses. So last week, we asked you to send in any websites or stuff that you have that you want to analyze. And we can't guarantee that we'll get through all of them. We actually tried to pick a handful of them, because otherwise it'd be here a long time. But I have a question for you guys that you can tell me what you think, and you can type either a 1 or 2 in. So we have 2 options. I can try to squeeze in a bunch of sites really fast, not go into as much detail as I probably could, but I could try to squeeze a bunch in, and we could just have one call on just this. So you could type in a 1 for that, or if you want me to spread it out a bit more, possibly over 2 calls. So if you want me to analyze some sites now and either next week or the week after, and take a little more time on each site, you can type in a 2. So I'll see what you guys think, and then we can go from there, because we have a bunch of sites here, and I'll try to see what you guys want to do, and we'll go from there. All right, let's see what the answers are. All right, 2. Looks like overwhelmingly it's 2. There's only a couple 1s actually. Actually, there's three 1s and a bunch of 2s. All right. So I'll see what we can do. I'll try to take a bit more time, on each one, and if we have to do a second call, we can spread it over a bit. And what you'll find is a lot of sites, oftentimes, even if yours does not get picked, a lot of times the stuff that we share with one site is the same with a lot of them. So like if you're like a local business, and we give a local business in London a handful of tips, it probably applies to you if you're in Sydney, Australia, or someplace in South Africa, or wherever you might be. It still applies to basically everyone. Or if you're selling like an e-commerce site or anything like that, just keep all that in mind. If we do one example of like an e-com site, it probably will also apply to you if you also have an e-com site. So without further ado, we can get the show on the road, and of course we'll have some time for Q&A at the end as well. So why isn't my screen changing? There we go. So once again, these calls are every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, where we'll host a live training and or Q&A call. So by random chance this week, we're doing the live website analysis. And if you're here or you're registered for the series, you'll get a reminder each week, so don't forget. But if you can't make one, we'll have the recordings in the members area within a day of any of the calls under the training tab on the left side navigation bar. It'll be under, you'll click on basically the training tab, and then you'll click on the Wednesday calls, and you'll see the newest ones at the very top. So this one you should see there either by this evening or by tomorrow, or possibly, because it's Thanksgiving, maybe Friday morning at the latest, but we'll try to get it out tonight. And with that, guys, if you are in the U.S., happy Thanksgiving week. I hope you all have a safe one, and whether you're traveling or not, hope it all goes well there. And speaking of that, on good notes, at the end of the call, you'll have a chance to win $100 as well, like we do on every Wednesday call. But you have to first join the free Facebook group here, which is just getwebfire.com/FB group. It will forward you to the Facebook group page there. You'll click join if you're not a member already, and we'll give you some instructions on what to do towards the end of the call, where we'll pick a random winner towards the very end there. Now let's move on to our training for this week on analyzing your sites live. So we'll start with that live, then we'll do a brief Q&A at the very end, and then we'll do the cash giveaway. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to ask along the way as well. So I'm just going to pause the screen for a second as I switch on over to the websites I have up. All right. So the first site we have here is called rockinthatjewelry.com, and we asked the people that submitted their sites to give like a little bit of background so we kind of know what their goal is or what the site's about. So in this case, the person that sent this in said that it was basically like a wholesale jewelry type site for shoppers as well as resellers who want to resell their stuff. And on top of that, they actually apparently have all the stuff in their office that they've actually tested to make sure that basically the quality is good. So a few things right off the bat, from not like a ranking point of view, but from basically a marketing and business point of view. He explained, or he or she, I'm not quite sure who offhand, I didn't write that down, but they explained that they test everything in their office to make sure of the quality. Well, that's great, but you told me that in an email. Your site says nothing about that, so I have no clue that you've even seen any of these. I don't know that these have been tested by you. I don't know any of that, and I thought that was kind of cool because it makes it stand out a little bit from like a normal guy that might basically resell a bunch of stuff over AliExpress that he's never seen or doesn't know anything about. So I mean, it'd probably make a bit of sense to maybe have like a tagline or something there that says, you've tested all those products to, guarantee the quality and blah blah, because that gives me at least a little more reassurance. The second thing is, it sounds like you're trying to appeal to both the normal consumer as well as the reseller at the same time. That can sometimes be a little tricky from the exact same site. It's possible, but at the same time, you don't do a good job of saying what your site's about. Like, you don't say it's wholesale, you don't say it's for resellers, and sure, maybe somewhere you say that, but I don't see it here. And if I don't see it here, pretty much everyone else probably does not see that there either. Even if there's some like hidden link or words, if you scroll way down somewhere, if they don't see it right away, you might as well not even say it if it's important. So right there, if you're trying to appeal to like resellers, I'd first say, well, first, what is your main source of profits or sales? Is it the resellers or is it the consumers? If you're making like 80 or 90% of your money from the resellers, try to focus on that. Try to, right off the bat, have like a headline or like a tagline, that says, wholesale jewelry store for, resellers or whatever you want right there. Whereas if, like, let's say 95% of your sales is from consumers and only a small amount is resellers, you might want to have basically a tagline closer to, fashion jewelry at wholesale prices, some kind of tagline like that, so they know right off the bat what you're about right there. So you don't really have a title at all. You start with like a bunch of pictures here, which are nice. Like this looks nice, that looks nice. It all looks like nice stuff, but you don't really do a good job of saying what you are. In fact, you don't do any job of saying what you are. So assume that you're basically a jewelry store, just like thousands of others. And right here, I see you also say free shipping down here on the left side. That's a pretty big thing. I would maybe say that up here, where right when they hit your site, they see that it's free shipping, because there's a lot of sites that don't include that for free, and that's a pretty big deal, right there. And if it's worldwide, I would say that too. It doesn't really specify offhand right there. And one of the other things from like an SEO point of view, I checked the title tag of your site, and you can run it through the WebFire analysis tool, and it will tell you what the title tags are and all that. And when I ran it through, I saw that the title tag of your site is "Rockin' That Jewelry." That's it. So you might do a decent job of maybe ranking for your name, but if no one knows your name, you won't rank for anything that people are searching for. Now, if you're a huge brand, you spend a lot of money on ads, and people know your name, that works. If not, they're not going to find you, and there's no chance of ranking for that there. Now, I thought, okay, well, maybe he doesn't have the home page, targeted from like an SEO point of view well, but maybe he has, another page done well. So what I did is I clicked on new arrivals, or someone like that. I think I clicked on new arrivals, and what I saw is a couple things. One, the title tag of this, when I ran it through the analysis tool, just had the title tag of newest jewelry additions, which again, I don't think there's a lot of people probably searching for the phrase newest jewelry additions. So you'd probably want to use the keyword tool inside of WebFire to get an idea of what some jewelry terms might be. And for each of these categories right here, try to find ones that give you a chance to actually rank. So you're targeting keywords that don't mean anything and won't really help much. The other thing too is I thought, well, maybe on the individual products, he tried to basically target those well. And when I clicked on this one, which looks like a pretty cool thing right there, I clicked on Quick View, and I saw that this isn't even a page. So not necessarily the end of the world, but you can't really even target this well. So if someone's specifically looking for, let's say, African beads to buy jewelry or necklace or whatever that kind of style would be, I'm not sure offhand, but whatever kind of style that would be, if someone was searching the search engines for that, because this isn't really a page itself, it's just like basically popping on a site, you don't have much of a chance of actually ranking for that right there. Now, I'm not suggesting that you have to redo your entire site or anything like that, but at the very least, try to retarget or try to essentially better target the title tags of the categories, and then in the description, list the main types of jewelry that the categories there have. Like for let's say the earrings, there's probably a handful of different kinds of earrings. You can mention that in the description tags and in the title tags. So right now, it's too generic of terms for you to really do a heck of a lot, with that right there. And I would also too, because you have a free shipping on all these pages, I would say that too. Because again, you're assuming that people will scroll down to see on the bottom left that you say free shipping, and quite frankly, no one really looks. I'm guessing 90% of the people will assume that you're charging. So if you have it for free, you might as well say it too. Now, I know it says it right here, but because it's black and it mixes in with this, it doesn't stand out at all. And I'm guessing 80 to probably 80% plus have a good chance of missing that. At least half would. So make sure to mention that, maybe like right here, like free shipping and like red or whatever you want right there, or free worldwide shipping or whatever, deal you have right there. Let's just scroll back here. And other than that, I'd say it's not a bad job there. I'd maybe have like a best seller section or something where they can quickly see, what's what there and whatnot. And oh yeah, I see you say at the very bottom, free worldwide shipping, any of the money back guarantee as well. I would mention that at the top where they can actually see that right there. This would also be the kind of site too where you could try to individually rank for these things right here if you target the keywords well in their title, but because it's a pop-in and not a separate page, you'd have a little more of a tough time basically doing that, so it's something for you to consider. This would also be the kind of thing that would be pretty good for paid ads. So if you knew that, like, let's say a certain piece of jewelry was like really popular, or anything like that, or let's say your margins were really, really good. These are the kind of things that you could try Facebook ads on any individual one of these and see how that goes as well. And they won't all be winners, but if you try, like, let's say your 5 best ones and you find 1 or 2 winners, that can get you a lot of money right there. So I definitely look into that. So Sean, unless there's anything else you want to add with that one, I can switch over to the next site.
Well, while you're switching, let me throw in a couple of comments for Perry. Perry, and I don't know if you saw that, but Perry said, got it, agreed and understand exactly what you're saying, thanks. So he appreciates your feedback. But a couple of things, guys, when you're building sites, especially e-commerce sites, but any site where you want people to come and do something, in your brain, you're like, oh, I know what I want them to do. I want them to go here, click on this, go over here, give me money, and I'll send them stuff, right? I mean, we all know in our brain, like, that's what we want people to do. But when someone shows up at your website, they don't know what's in your brain. They don't know, like, oh, this guy wants me to scroll down 3 pages, look at the little button on the left, click on that, and give them $1,000, right? You got to make it really clear where people should go, and you've got to get your ideas and put your best foot forward and put things in front of them. It's different than when, like, you walk into a jewelry store and everything's laid out. But even then, what do? Well, you'll see stuff that's showcased. You'll see the lights are glinting off the diamonds or whatever might be their featured products. And they showcase certain items that they want to sell, particularly items that are high margin, high profit items, right? I mean, some of the stuff that you sell in your store is worth more to you than other things. And you want to push people towards those, especially if they're hot selling items. And how do people know what hot selling items are? Well, you tell them, okay? When once you've got a store yet, or if you're thinking about building a store, then you need to look when you're shopping, and you need to click on competitors' ads and go to their websites, and you're going to look at some of these things and be like, oh man, this is a really cool idea. I should do this. Or look at the way in which you're following the path down that someone's got you, where they got you clicking on one item and you like that and you add that to cart and they suggest something else. The same things they're doing that are effective for you to buy as a consumer are things you want to be doing as a vendor for what you're trying to sell. Go ahead, Brian. On to the next one.
All righty. So the next one we have is a blog, and they say it's an affiliate blog for romance ideas. So the general idea, I think, is they're trying to write a bunch of like romance tips and stuff like that, and they're trying to mix in essentially affiliate links and stuff like that in hopes of making money. Now, I actually, a long time back, I did a comparable thing, but for weddings and such, like wedding ideas, proposal ideas and all that there, and I was affiliate for stuff like diamonds and whatnot, and it worked quite well. But the problems I see with this is it looks like a website from like the early 90s, and you have like a bunch of links at top. It looks like it's not really organized, or it doesn't look nice at all right here. And on top of that, the text you have here is incredibly small to read. And I have very good vision, and I think that's kind of tough to read. And I guarantee, like, probably half or more of the crowd out there doesn't see as well and would have a really hard time with that. And the colors don't really go well right there. You have an opt-in page an opt-in form on the right, where your text is on the far right side, and you have like one word per line, which makes no sense, doesn't read well, doesn't look well. I also would get rid of the name as well, unless you need it. Usually you'll increase your opt-in rate with just an email. But I would give them like a major incentive to basically sign up. And the more specific you can be, the better. In this case, it looks like you say, hey, get free love tips, as well as a book on second chance, which I think is probably like, there's like a market or like a niche and get your ex back type thing. I'm not sure if that's what that would be, but if so, it doesn't fully make sense to have, hey, here's some tips for romance. Oh, and by the way, here's how to get the ex back in the same sign up, because it sounds like two different groups right there. Someone looking for tips on romance and stuff like that, they're probably a bit less likely trying to get like an X back on that. I could be wrong, but that's my hunch right there. But I'd probably stick to a 1. But yeah, I'd say maybe get free, romance tips each week, including blah blah. Just make it short and sweet, and fix that up big time, because that makes the whole site look really really bad then. And yeah, again, like right here, it's just kind of, it's not horrible. It's just it looks kind of outdated for sure. And the other thing too, when I click on any of these, I thought, okay, so romance at amusement park. So I click that because you said that this is like an affiliate blog. But when I click that, we'll just load that up. It's loading a bit slow, but hopefully it works. There it goes. It's quite slow. Don't know why, but yeah, right here, you're an affiliate blog without affiliate links. So you'll have a tough time making affiliate sales without recommending anything to them. And I thought, well, maybe by chance that one didn't have anything. So I clicked on, the hiking one, and there's no affiliate links, and the articles look like really short and not really organized well. Usually people love like stuff like having bullet points and headlines and stuff like that. And it just seems like kind of like generic advice and stuff too. People oftentimes like specific tips and stuff like that. And any of these that I click on, it looks like this is the first time that you have an affiliate link here for 50 Shades of Grey book, but again, it's one of those things where it's not really recommending anything specific. It's not really directly tied to this right here. I mean, it is maybe a little bit with this one, but if you're an affiliate blog, definitely have more affiliate products and stuff. Now, when I scrolled way down, I almost didn't actually see this initially. This is where all your affiliate ads are. At the very bottom, looks way out of place, and you might not even have these, because why would someone say, oh, look, there's nothing here? I'm going to continue to scroll down because I want to look at a blank space, and I want to see what else is there. Blank, blank, blank. Oh, look, there's some ads there. Like, no one is going to really see that to start with. Looks really odd, and you probably won't get any actual clicks there because there's just no reason for them to scroll down to start with. Now, yeah, so I would definitely maybe try to give some like tips and stuff that tie in to actual products. Like if you, for instance, let's say on like your cheap date ideas, if there's certain like products or gifts or anything like that ties in, maybe mention those, maybe do reviews of those and have affiliate links to those, but actually target those kinds of words in your title tags and stuff. And the title tag that you have is incredibly long. Like here's the title tag that you have actually checked on this. It says, the ideas for romance blog, ? Helping you get ideas for romance - romantic information, resources, and tips with ideasforromance.com. So you want it to be like a tagline. That's not even a tagline by itself. That's just kind of like a bunch of things thrown together. Doesn't look like they're really trying to target any specific kind of keywords. Now, if you find that ideas for romance or romantic ideas, or if you find that some term like that is good to possibly rank for, try to target that. Try to use the keyword tool inside of WebFire to see, hey, what are the best terms related to this that I should try to add in my title tag. Make that shorter, like one line long, not like 3 or 4 lines, and that will help you out right there. But I'd also do like reviews of romantic products, and every article that you do, try to do the keyword research to have the title and the title tag be something that you have a chance to actually rank for. Increase the font size of those all those articles. Maybe have like basically bullet points and headlines and stuff like that, which gives you kind of additional chances to actually rank for it, because they really look at like if there's like headline or headline, having those can actually increase your chances of ranking for stuff in there as well. So that's probably enough things for you to change right off the bat right there. Sean, unless you have anything, I'll switch to the next one.
No, the only other comment I have is the downside of having a blog where you put the dates on posts is that you have dates from 2011, so it looks like this has been abandoned. And I would, if you can, edit the blog just to pull the dates out at least, so it doesn't look like you've completely forgotten about the site. And that's my only comment other than what Brian suggested.
Cool. And the next one we have agrabusinesslink.com.ng. And, you know, this is one, it was kind of confusing as to what it was. So it says it's, you know, endorsed by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and all that, which is great. That gives you some authority right there. It explains briefly what you are. It says it's an online shopping platform for farmers and consumers to meet. But I don't really know what that means. And I'm taking a lot of time to like read up and see what this is, but doesn't fully stand out. I don't quite know what you want me to do. I don't quite know like if I'm buying and selling stuff or what. So I thought, okay, I'll just click on buy and see what's there. And I see this. There's like nothing to buy, and it says you can text, you know, your order and quantity to here, but it's like, well, what exactly am I buying?
Right. This site needs a headline.
Yeah. You give me info on how to text you, but I mean, I don't know what I'm buying. So like, do you expect a random person to basically text you and say, I'll take 15 of this blank page that you have up here? No one knows what you're selling, so they're not going to contact you and buy. You talk a lot about how long it takes and all that to get the delivery. Great, but I still don't know what you're selling. And if I say sell, you know, again, I'm not quite sure what you want me to do here. I see a blank page. There's nothing to actually do. I don't even see a contact. So it's super confusing to me as to what this is. Now, you know, it could be that this is, you know, a new site and you haven't done that stuff yet, but it sounds like you have like, looks like an established fan page and stuff. There's like products and stuff that you list up here. And we can't, so there's no links to actually click on anything. So I don't know if I can actually get a turkey from you for tomorrow or not.
No, Brian, it said 3 days delivery.
Okay, so it wouldn't get here in time for Thanksgiving. Yeah, so I don't know what this is. Like you have a bunch of pictures, but you're not really saying what it is, what the prices are, what I have to do to buy. I can't click on any of these. So I'm really confused as to what the site is and what this is all about. And this big blank ad that looks blue. I mean, I like blue, but I don't know what that is. And it looks like you have like a Facebook page here, which is great. But again, I don't really know what this is. So I definitely would change that. The other thing too is the title tag that you have is agribusiness link ? From farm to table. So you're not really targeting any kind of keyword there. You have basically your business name in it, and you say from farm to table. But you know, have like if let's say like what my hunch is that you're linking up farmers with consumers and stuff so people can buy from the farmers. But then say that in the title. Try to target a keyword in the title. Say allowing consumers to buy straight from farms in wherever you're located or wherever your business is. So you don't do a good job from that side right there. So Sean, unless there's anything else, we can switch to the next one.
No, that's good.
All right. So next one we have wholesaleforeveryone.com. And when I saw this, my first thought is, wow, this is a wholesale site for everyone. But then it's like, wait. It says bandanas. I'm like, okay, so you're a bandana store. But then I'm like, well, wait. In the description that you sent me, you said that you sold bandanas and hats and caps and handkerchiefs, and basically other stuff too. So you're not a bandana place, even though you have a lot of those. So it's like it's like you're having like like a little identity crisis. Are you wholesale for everyone? No, because you only sell a handful of things. Are you just a bandana store? No, because it looks like you have other stuff. Although, if you specialize in bandanas, if that's what you sell most of, then maybe say wholesale bandanas, or some kind of name like that. And then you might also have like hats and caps on the side and stuff like that. That's all fine. Now the title tag that you had, which you'll want to change right now. The title tag you have is wholesaleforeveryone.com. Now, if someone's searching for your site, you did an excellent job of allowing them to find you. But if they're searching for your site, they'll probably just type in your site instead of searching for it on Google with the exact URL. So if you are a wholesale bandana shop, say, wholesale and stylish bandanas, or some kind of like, do some keyword research, use the WebFire keyword tool, see what kind of bandana type terms people are searching for. I don't really know much about bandanas myself. I mean, I know what they are, but I don't know much about that. But there might be like, different types, different names, different materials, different styles that you could probably rank for. And you could basically target that both on the homepage as well as on the individual ones as well. So right here you say be unique. I'd say that should almost be like a buy button. Like the rest of these say shop or start. Not bad per se, but again, it's a bit confusing. I like how you break it down into different categories and stuff like that. But what I saw was one of the links that I checked, I believe it was this one right here, or maybe it was a different one. One of these that I checked, it had the title tag of value, classic paisley imported 100% cotton, which it looks like that's not bad, but I would have a title tag like trying to go after the specific kind of product right there. Now I'm not sure what that link was offhand. I found it somewhere, but make sure on all the product pages that you have, so like this would be a product page where you have a single product on there. Make sure that the keyword that you're trying to target describes it like this. This probably does a decent job right here. I would maybe add like wholesale in there or something along those lines. I probably wouldn't worry about having like a keyword in there of imported in the title tag, even though you had that. But go through all the products you have and make sure that the keywords that you're trying to target both describe the product, which this one I think does a bit right here. Although what you could do is maybe say like black and red, or black, white and red, because if someone is searching for a certain kind of bandana, they might do a search like black bandana, red, black and red, or something along those lines. So maybe add a bit of that into the description and make sure that's in the title tag as well, because it will increase your chances of specifically ranking this specific page for someone searching for your specific product and such. Because I do think your prices look very, very good there. I mean, I don't know how much bandanas go for, but I was honestly expecting to pay like at least $5, if not more. I honestly think $5 is cheap. So $1.50 to me seems, wow, that's like insanely cheap. This is a really awesome deal here.
Wait, now, Brian, how many bandanas have you ever bought in your life?
I've never bought one.
How many have you worn?
I've never worn one. Okay,
good. So you're not the ideal customer, but yep. I agree with you that at that price they look like a steal.
Yeah. So again, like as I said, I don't know how much they usually go for. So I mean, if this is like normal, okay, but if it's like if normal is like $5 or $10, I'm not sure. You might want to also test your price a bit. You might want to also see like what is your raw cost. Like I don't know if your raw cost is $1 or if it's a quarter or what, but you want to make sure that you have a decent margin right there. And then this is the kind of thing where if you have some cooler designs, you could probably target Facebook ads and stuff like that too, specifically for specific products and such too. Like you could probably target people at, I'm sure there's, I could be wrong, but I'm sure there's probably like bandana clubs and fan pages and stuff like the hat, where you could like basically target guys on that, show off a couple of the styles you have, and send guys to your page, and really push the fact that, hey, this is wholesale right here, because at least to me, this seems like a very good deal right there. So definitely look at what you could do to essentially target that. I like that you have like the sizes and stuff down right there. Make sure that for sizes, you can also basically target those from like an SEO perspective as well right there. And then just make sure every one of the categories you have, like biker bandanas, make sure that you target the title tags well on there. You do some keyword research, see what ones have the best chance to rank, and then make sure those are in the title tag and such right there. But definitely, like on your home page, you definitely want to change the title tag where you have it only saying wholesaleforeveryone.com, because that doesn't even mention the word bandanas or anything else. It makes so definitely change up that there. And I see you say like free shipping right there. That's a bit hard to read, and I know it's on orders over $49, but make that larger and stand out, like white on yellow at the very top in small font. I didn't see that unless I was specifically looking for that. So that's just one thing to keep in mind, and I'll go back to the home page really quick. And then maybe look at like, having like some kind of like a tagline that basically mentions everything that you sell, and then mention the fact that these are wholesale bandanas, and all that good stuff there too. And you can hear my dog in the background because a package was just dropped off.
Oh, that's your Thanksgiving present, Brian.
Okay.
That's from me, whatever it is.
Okay. All right. So
okay, between the dog and me, you have no train of thought left, I realize.
Yeah.
One of the most important things I think Brian mentioned, and I was going to if he didn't, which is when you're titling your products in your store and you want people to find them, the names you give to these things are so important. If you just say bandana, you're competing with everybody who used the word bandana. When you say USA bandana, then people are like, oh, hey, if I'm searching for USA bandana, that fits. And I mean, yes, there are some people who would just be searching like generically bandanas, but as Brian said, a lot of people will be searching for, red paisley bandana, black and red bandana. I mean, whatever it is that they, however they go for these things, and I'm sure the top search terms for what these are by now. I too have never bought nor worn bandanas, so I am not the target audience, but there's a lot of these things sold, and you've got these great deals on them. So let's get you some customers and make some things happen. Brian, on to the next one, probably our last one in this group.
All right. And the other thing on this, for the newsletter you have too, you say at the very bottom, it says sign up to our newsletter and receive savings in your inbox. To me, there's a lot of places that say that, but like every time it's like they don't have an instant savings or anything like that. So if you have a savings of some kind, maybe move the opt-in box up, have it be like a pop-in and say, hey, save 10% on your first order, right now into your email here. Or if you want to really incentivize them and push them to actually like purchase fast, say, hey, for the next 12 hours or 8 hours or 5 hours or whatever it might be, save 10% by entering your email here. That can both build a list, and at the same time it incentivizes guys to buy now versus wait, because if you give guys any reason to wait, they'll wait almost every time. The next one I thought it was a cool concept but needs help. So it's limeskillgone.com, and it is a magnetic water softening and descaling system that basically removes like scale deposits and stuff like that. Now,
so Brian, before you even start, guys, just what does this site miss? Say it with me. The headline. Besides the fact that William Robertson wrote, they misspelled receive, which I didn't even get to see yet, so that's bad. But you guys need headlines. Like, I mean, I know there's a lot of information here and everything else, but it needs this unifying headline that draws you in, whatever it is. You know, the simplest, fastest, cheapest way to pull crap out of your water that doesn't require any ongoing maintenance, and you can install in less than 3 minutes, even if you don't own a wrench. Now, I don't know that that's actually true because I'm not sure what it is, but that alone would get everybody reading the page more than trying to go through what's like looks more like an e-commerce site page when you have a direct response page here.
Yeah, and what I hate about this site here is that it has a bunch of text on it, but it's like the format is all over. Like this is centered slightly more to the right side than the sentence below it, which is centered completely different than the other line down, which is centered completely different than the next one down, which is centered completely different. Like it's literally, there's no format. Like if you want to have some stuff centered and some aligned left, okay, cool. But you have it aligned all over the place. Like it's so hard to follow and read that it's really hard to actually read this. And as you scroll down, it just seems like stuff is all over. And you know, I don't really know what it is or what you're selling. Like I'm sure if I read all this, I would know exactly what this is. But it's hard because it's so hard to read. The text changes nonstop. It's very, very confusing and tough. And my guess is that you could probably sum up this entire thing in 1/5 of the amount of text, if not less, and make it so it's super easy. Where you want to have like what I call like an elevator pitch, essentially, on your website, where if someone's on your site, the first thing they see, which would be like right here, you want them to know exactly what your offer is and exactly what the benefits are and why they should buy. Where I see this and I don't really know any of that. I don't know what exactly it is other than a magnetic water softening, which I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's a chemical. I don't know if it's a device. I don't really know. And I don't really know what the benefits are compared to the competition or other methods. I'm sure you could read all this, and I'm sure it's a great product that does a lot of great stuff. But that's besides the point. You have to make it crystal clear. And I see like right here, you say it's basically chemical and additive free right there. Make that stand out. Mention that. There's a lot of a big market now for stuff that doesn't have harmful chemicals and stuff like that. But make that stand out big time and make it like say, hey, what is this used for? What can this help with? And why is this better? And you want to see, hey, how can you write like either a line or two or so that can basically sum up everything in a matter of like 10 seconds or so. I mean, ideally even less, because right now I'd have to spend minutes trying to glance through and find out what this is. So you want to, again, get rid of all that junk, summarize up all that, make it super easy to see and really explain what you are. The other thing too is the title tag you have is not horrible, but it's magnetic water softening and descaling system, removes all lime scale deposits, lifetime guarantee, 6-day money back guarantee. That's your title tag. That is way too long, and you don't want to have the entire sales pitch in the title tag itself. Like you want to target the main keyword that you're going for. If you find that the main key keyword is magnetic water softening and descaling system, great. If you find that no one searches that and they don't know what that is, maybe look for like maybe target term like magnetic water softening dash the safe chemical-free alternative to whatever the popular term might be right there. So definitely fix up that right there. And you have like, yeah, and it's just, I just don't really know, like this page needs like a lot of work because it's basically all over the place right there. When I click buy, it goes to a separate pop-up right here. So I click to order. It's a little confusing. It looks like you threw like a bunch of stuff, you know, together. If I click basically buy, you know, I would dumb this down big time, make it super easy. And I'd also like, you know, if you're trying to, if this is like sold in a certain area, market it that way. So it looks like it's in pounds right there. So if you're selling it in a certain area, maybe target those terms too. And maybe like say what the best option or what the best seller is right here. You have a bunch of different options, but I really don't know what's what. And I don't think it's just because I don't deal with this stuff. I think it's confusing as a whole. I mean, Sean, what's your impression or thoughts?
I think it's massively confusing, and part of that is just a formatting problem. You just need, if you're not capable of doing it, you just need to go get somebody off Fiverr or Upwork or someplace that can format that page much better for you. I mean, those products and descriptions need to be like put into little, you know, boxes, or, you know, from a visual standpoint, that's not the technical term, but they need to be set up and tabled and put into little boxes so they're all visually easy to scroll down through. I mean, you're asking somebody to go down and like look at all that stuff, and more than 50% of your traffic is probably on a mobile device. I bet if I'm on a cell phone, man, there is no way I'm surviving going through your site, and that today would absolutely just kill your sales.
Yep.
I mean, and that's a thing we haven't brought up. I didn't notice you mentioned it, Brian, but just overall, guys, you know, mobile traffic. I mean, everybody talks about mobile traffic like it's a big thing, like, oh, look, there's a lot of mobile traffic, right? But there really is a lot of mobile traffic. And you go look at your server stats and you're going to find it's more than half your traffic. And that means that you've got a guy or a girl on a cell phone screen, whatever size that might be, and they're going through your site and they're trying to look at something and read these descriptions and decide whether or not to buy and all this other stuff on that teeny tiny screen. And if you've got a whole mishmash of crap all over the place, there is no way that they're going to get through it and buy from you. Okay. So if this is hard on Brian's Mac laptop, this is really hard, I bet, you know, on a smaller device. Then that's not a good thing.
Yep. Great point. So with that, Sean, should we save the rest for another time and do Q&A, or do you want to do maybe one more, or jump to Q&A?
No, let's go to Q&A.
Okay.
And Abu had a great comment here for this, which is this would also be great to have a straightforward video that explained the product.
Oh yeah.
Because it wouldn't take presumably long to explain the product. And whether it's a PowerPoint video with a voiceover or it's a little explainer video, you know, there's little hand-drawn cartoon things, whatever it might be. It doesn't have to be, you know, $25,000 worth of high-quality video, but a video could help a lot here to draw somebody's attention to it and to make the sale.
Yeah,
good idea.
And on top of that too, like even outside the site, you could make you know, a handful of videos, submit them to YouTube, and target additional keywords like what is you know, magnetic water softening, what are the benefits of this, magnetic water softening versus conventional water softening, or whatever that might be. Like basically target a bunch of other terms like that, and either have, you know, pages on those or videos on those, and really explain what the differences are. And if you can show like a demo, like if yours is like better for rust or whatever it might be, I'm not quite sure exactly what, or if yours does basically a better job of cleaning and filtering, you know, show that side by side. Like say, hey, this is with all the harmful chemicals and all that, and this is without. And you see, without, it cleans better, and you don't have all these harmful things that can cause this, and that. I mean, if someone sees that, they instantly think, oh, that's a no-brainer. If it cleans better and it doesn't have the harmful crap that you just told me can do this, this, and that. I want that. So if they're in the market and need that, they're going to check out your site then. So
right, but Brian, you just brought up a good point. When a lot of people ask us, and somebody's just asking how to get, when they're building their first site, how to get started. But if this site is built and nothing wrong with it, as if the people coming to the site know why they came there, like they're looking for this solution, right? But a lot of people don't know the solution exists, that it would be a good deal, that they should buy it, that they should do whatever. And if you think about this, right, I mean, how do people go to search engines and find stuff, right? So like, I got, my iPhone 10 finally showed up yesterday, and when I went to set it up, it, and do you set it up through iTunes and restore from backup, and I get this error message that says you can't do this because the software is not compatible, which of course is a frightening thing when you're using Apple products with Apple software and it says it doesn't work. So what's the obvious thing that I do? I go to Google and I type in the error message so I can find out what to do. And there's like 20 guys who have written articles because people have typed, they know people are going to type in this error message, and they've written in how to walk through the whole thing, and they get all my, my traffic and me seeing ads and whatever else because of that. In the same way, for many of your solutions to problems like this limescale remover thing, right? People are going to Google and they're typing in, how do I get rid of limescale? What's this crap that's built up in my pipes, my toilet, my wherever, right? I mean, people are asking these questions, and if you're answering these questions that they're asking, those people are buying stuff. I mean, they're looking for solutions. When you provide great information, a little video, whatever, and you just knock these out one blog post at a time, many of which have truly, I'm going to say, different headline and maybe a different paragraph to intro it, and the whole rest of the page is the same. Because you're gonna be like, but it's the same answer for everybody. Yeah, but we asked a different question, so we want it to pretend it's a different answer in our human brains. Okay, and we've just generated a bunch of questions, Brian. But tell them how to go to the Facebook page, and then we'll jump back.
And with that too, the lead tools inside of WebFire would be a great way to find guys asking questions on like how to get rid of all that crap in their pipes or whatever the stuff is. And you can use like a keyword tool inside of WebFire to like know what questions and terms are basically out there. And I'm sure you probably know a bunch of terms yourself, but you can actually enter those into the lead tools and probably find a lot of guys asking questions that you can answer and point them in the right direction, which would be the system that you sell. So with that, guys, if you go to getwebfire.com/FB group, which is the free Facebook group there, click join if you're not a free member already. At the very top, or towards the very top, Sharon has a post basically asking what you thought of today's call. You'll see that's probably dated from about an hour ago. So she'll ask, she's asking what you thought of today's call. If you leave a comment within that post, so try to make sure it's within that post, not another post or outside or anything like that. We'll pick a random winner in about 5 minutes time. So just leave a random comment or saying what you thought of the call that we had, and we'll pick a random winner live. You'll see us do actually the drawing live in just a few minutes time. So with that, we'll go back to the questions while you guys do that there. So Sean.
Okay, good. So here's the first question. We're going to talk about April, who has the problem that everyone wants to have. And that is this. Hey guys, I'm ranking on the first page of Google for my keyword, but Google's showing my homepage URL instead of the individual page URL for the specific keyword. This is why this is a good problem, right? You're on page, you're on the first page and you're not happy because it's not the specific page. Think about, this is a great problem to have, right? So she asked, is there a specific reason why Google will do that? And the simple answer is there's not a specific reason why Google will do that. It's probably more random than not, but it's a good problem to have. because now if you generate more links to your homepage, it's going to rise. You didn't say whether or not it was number one. It can rise, but you could also generate links to the other page, and there's a good chance you're going to get that page ranked as well, so that you'd end up with 2 front page listings, which is even better than 1 front page listing.
Yeah, because once they rank you once, there's a level of trust there, and you're more likely to gain additional rankings because you know that they have a level of trust in your site. So that's actually a very good problem to have there. Anything else that you see, Sean?
Yeah, so David asked, how do I check out competitors' keywords?
Well, there's a handful of different ways of basically doing that. If you're trying to see what they rank for, you know, one thing you can do is, you know, it depends on how big the store or the store or site and stuff is. The easy way by hand is just search, you know, a handful of popular terms, you know, that they're ranking for. See that right there. You can also, if you do the website analysis tool, you can analyze their site for any, you know, of the keyword terms there and see how optimized they are, if they're ranking on page 1 or not. You can also use the rank tracker inside of WebFire. You can basically enter the URL of a page or several pages, and you can actually enter as many keywords as you want right there, and it'll track all that for any site, even if it's not yours. So that's one easy way about it. If you want to kind of spy on them and see what they're trying to rank for, you can see like what terms they have in their title tag, you know, what terms they have in their description. There's a handful of tools out there that try to spy on what ones rank for, but they tend to not do a good job at all. They tend to miss like, you know, 95 or more % of the search terms. So that's the best way to go about it right there. But I'd say more importantly is, you know, see what the easy keywords to rank for are. Use the keyword tools and such to see in your market what's left. You know, what are the easier ones to try to rank for and go after those. But on that same note, if you want to spy on them for other reasons, you can use the competition backlink tool inside of WebFire, and you can see where their top traffic sources are from. So if you know where they're getting most of their traffic from, you know that you can then reach out to those places, which actually the tool allows you to instantly do with a click of a button. You can reach out to those places and see what they're, you know, if they allow any ads there and what those costs are, if they do any guest blog posts or whatever it might be. So you can reach out to their top sources and stuff right there. So you can spy on the competition through that. And we also have on that same tool right there, we have a beta access on that, which is, you know, included on the Windows side. It's being rolled out on the Mac side, which you can see what kind of ads they actually have too. So that's kind of neat there as well. So next question.
Yes, so the next question is, I lost it, sorry. Okay, Helen says, hello from the UK. Hello, Helen. Great info today, thank you. I'm setting up my first website to promote and sell affiliate products. What would be your top tips for getting this right?
So she's setting up a website to sell affiliate products.
Right, right. She's starting from scratch, setting up her first website, wants to do it right the first time.
Right. So the main 3 things that I would make sure to focus on first is, 1, make sure the products that you're trying to promote are ones that people are actually buying. The last thing you want is to spend a lot of time on products that people don't buy. Now, how can you tell? Well, rule of thumb is to use common sense, but you can also search, you know, on like ClickBank or Amazon, and you can see what the best sellers and stuff are. You can see how many reviews there are, if stuff is mentioned a lot, you know, online. You can get a general idea of if it's, you know, sold or if it sells well or not. So that's the first thing. The second thing is make sure that the commissions that you earn are actually decent. Make sure it's worth your time to actually promote the product. Oftentimes I see guys that try to push stuff where they make like $1 or $2, and they completely ignore stuff where they might make like $1,000 a sale. Now, I can tell you which one will probably give you a greater chance of making a lot of money quicker. It's not the $1 or $2 one. And lastly, I think, writing reviews and stuff like that is a great way to target people that are looking to actually buy the product itself. So they're basically buyers looking to buy a lot of times right now, like they want to buy right then and there. They're just looking for some reassurance. And if you can help their decision along, especially if you can like break it down with like pros and cons and bullet points and stuff like that, and give them a clear call to action, like, overall you recommend this because of this, this, and that. Have your affiliate link be very easy, very obvious, and where you want them to click. Then make sure to actually target those kinds of terms in the title tags, in the titles of your blog post or your site as well. Use the keyword tool to actually see what terms will give you the best chances of actually ranking, and you should be fine there.
Okay. April says, who is asking us about her good problem to have, that she's #1 for her homepage keyword and #7 for the other page. So that's great. And Caesar asked, what's the minimum searches you'd start your keyword research?
Well, it really depends. And the rule of thumb I use is, again, I try to use like common sense to some extent, whereas I look at the value of what a buyer is. If you're trying to target a person who's basically buying a $5 product, you need a lot more traffic or searches to make it worthwhile. Whereas if you're targeting, a term where people might be a likely buyer of a $1,000 product, I don't really even pay attention to the volume, because my logic is, hey, if there's even like, a handful of searches, like if there's even like a dozen people a month that find my term, if I can make $1,000, and it takes me, 20 minutes to write like a quick review or like an article on it, I'm going to take that time, right there. Now, if it's a more generic term, like, a question that people ask or stuff like that, and it's not directly tied to a buyer, again, it depends upon the market, but, usually you want, at least a few hundred per month. The more the better, and that's why the keyword tool is basically there. You might find that there's some really good terms that might have tens of thousands of searches a month that aren't that competitive. Likewise, at the same time, you might find ones that don't have a lot of searches but are super competitive at the same time. So kind of use common sense with that, see what the options are, and also see like how likely is the keyword to be like a buyer type term versus just like a random question not necessarily tied to an actual buyer. But I tend not to focus too much on the volume, more so on how easy it is to rank, because I can whip out a lot of stuff, and you can like build like a giant spider web almost of like all these different terms where you will rank for a bunch of those, and over time you'll start to grab in traffic, you'll start to grab in leads and sales. Even if each term by itself doesn't necessarily bring a lot, over time it all adds up, especially if you look at basically the larger scale there.
All right. That's it, baby.
All right.
Let's give away money and call it a wrap.
All righty. So make sure, again, you go to getwebfire.com/FB group to leave that comment. I'll give you maybe another 20 seconds to leave the comment right there, just so I have time to refresh the page and all that. All right. All right. So here it is right here, and here's the post from Sharon right here. And you'll just leave a comment right here. Just click comment right there, leave a comment, and I'll give you guys maybe another 10 seconds to leave a comment right there. And yeah, so I'll give you maybe 10 seconds really quick. And I'll pull up the random.org site in the meantime so we can do the drawing.
So last week the winner was number 1, right?
It was last week. That was a shocker.
Hey, it's all a random number. I know you didn't do that just so you only had to count to 1.
Yes, that's always nice there.
Yeah, I know. It's nice and convenient. So this week, here's my prediction. Okay, my prediction.
What's that?
27.
27.
27.
All right. So
So if you're number 27, get ready.
all right. All right. So we'll do the count and then see what there is. So I'll count the ones outside of here first because there's always a couple that post outside. Makes it easier to count. Okay. Looks like there's 2 outside. 1, 2 plus 32, so 34 in total. All right, so 134. 34! Wow! What do you look at that?
Oh,
So
if I'd known it was going to be as high as 34, I would have guessed 34.
Last week it was 1. Now it's 34. I believe. Wow, that's a shocker. That makes our life easy. So the guy that wins is the guy that posted on the wrong one by accident. So he posted on the wrong one. Don't quite know how, but that's okay. It said we'll count. So Nivelle Goncalves, if that's you, first of all, you posted it in the wrong one, but it worked out because you won $100 and because I counted those that were outside of that posted them right then. So congratulations to Nivelle Goncalves. So if that's your name and that looks like you, you are $100 richer, or you will be as soon as you post up your PayPal email to Sharon with that. So again, congratulations to you for being this week's Marketing Wednesday webinar winner. And with that, guys, I want to thank all of you for being on this call. So on one of the next calls, we'll do the rest of the websites and such. There's some good ones and some other good tips and stuff to show off there. And again, for those of you that are celebrating Thanksgiving, I hope you guys all have a great and safe one. And if you have any questions or anything else that pops up, you can always write support@webfire.com. And with that, guys, we'll see you next week, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, like always. So with that, guys, take care, and we'll talk to you later.
Hey, Neville, post your email address in here real quick.
Oh yeah, make sure to post.
He posted thank you, which is awesome.
Yeah, make sure to post your PayPal email in the chat. So
otherwise, I'll just give Brian mine.
Paid. Yeah.
It's okay. We're allowed to do that. All right, everybody. Thank you. There it is. All right, everybody. Have a great week. Thank you. Happy holidays.
All right. Thanks much. Take care, guys.